This is how to do an Afghan or Tunisian knit stitch, and you can see it looks very much like knitting, but instead it's worked with a Tunisian or Afghan crochet hook. The hook is very long. This is a J hook, and normally you would start out with a regular crochet hook, a size or two smaller. This is an I hook, and you would make your basic foundation chain as you normally would. Crochet it a little bit loosely because we're going to be working through the back loop. When you're finished, you switch over to your Afghan hook, but since I'm doing such a small swatch, I'm going to keep working on the regular crochet hook, and I'm just casting on as normal, going under that back loop and pulling a loop up on my hook. And when I get to the very last loop, I'm doing a yarn over to add a loop and going through that last loop and pulling it up. Now to remove the hooks off the loops off your hook, do a yarn over and pull through two, always through two, and complete your row. And we're going to do our first row on here of the stitch. When you look at the stitch, you can see there's a front vertical bar and a back vertical bar. Well, you're going to insert your hook between those two, do a yarn over and pull over up so you have that loop on the hook. Again, going through the front between the front vertical and the back vertical bars. Keep adding your hooks, your loops on your hook, going between those two. And when you get down to the very end, we're going to do the same thing. See, did I get it there? Yep, there it is. I'm going through that one. And now I'm going through those two loops at the end. It's like a chain loop at the very end. And I'm going to do just a plain yarn over, pull it through. I'm beginning my chain up the side. You get one on your dominant and your non-dominant side. And I'm going to do yarn over, and again, pull it through two. I'm going to switch over to a piece that I've already started because it's a little easier to see the pattern. Now you'll notice it's curling up. The way to prevent that is to work either your foundation chain in a purl stitch, or if it's easier for you to do, just do the normal foundation chain and then do a couple rows of purl stitching. It will make a nice edging, and you can end off with the purl stitching also, so it'll help to prevent that curling. So now I'm working my row, and what will help it to be easier for you to see is, yes, I'm working through. There's the top front vertical and the back vertical bar and pulling up. But what you'll notice is there's always two vertical bars between your next insert, because it's the back vertical bar of the stitch I just did and the front vertical bar of the stitch I'm going to do. Because sometimes it's a little difficult. It can get confusing when you look at it. So if you just know I've got two vertical bars in between my next insert, it will really help it to see more easily what you're working on. So I've finished that off, and now at the very end I've got my chain, and I go under my two chains, do a yarn over and pull it up, and you can see the pattern is the inverted V's. Yarn over, pull through two, 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 and you can start seeing the pattern. It's not obvious on the row just below your where you're working, but the other ones you can see that inverted V, and you've got a chain on the side, your inverted V's, and then the chain on the other side. So let's do one more row. I'm going through, skipping those 2 vertical bars, going through, skipping 2 vertical bars, skipping 2 vertical bars, going in after that, skipping to the 2 vertical bars, and now I'm going under my 2 chain stitches at the very end, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 until I've completed, and you can you can kind of keep track by looking at your V's and your edging, then making sure you're not losing any stitches. Now to cast off, you would go back to your regular crochet hook, and since I would have started with 2 purl rows, I would finish with 2 purl rows and end off with that. But you could still do it with this stitch going under your front vertical bar, and I like ending off with a slip stitch. Just going under your front vertical bar and ending off with a slip stitch. And then when you get to the very end, after you've finished your last vertical bar, go under those 2 chains and do a slip stitch. Like I said, if you do start out with the purl at each edge, it will help to keep it from curling. But otherwise, you will have a nice panel with a chain at the bottom, a chain at the top, chain edging around your dominant hand, but also a nice chain edging around your non-dominant hand. And that's the knit stitch. If you would like to have the information written out, please go to simpleandsensational.com.